Welcome back. Congress prevented a partial government shutdown yesterday, passing a short-term extension of funding through mid-February. Both the House and Senate agreeing to the legislation after resolving a standoff over vaccine mandates. The bill now heads to President Biden's desk. Joining me right now is Ohio Congressman. He is Financial Services Committee member Warren Davidson. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. Can you take us behind the curtain what went on yesterday? I know that there was a lot of pushback over Biden's vaccine mandates.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. I mean, really the question was, shall we fund the government with vaccine mandates or shall we fund the government with no mandates? I think it was mischaracterized as an attempt to shut the government down. It was really a fight over whether we're going to support these mandates or not. And Congress, of course, has a vote in that. It's our job to fund the government. And of all the crazy things that Joe Biden's been doing with executive authority, it'd be great to see us weigh in on more of them. But, you know, Republicans are in the minority right now. We picked a fight that we tried to win with the continuing resolution, and we didn't really unite as well as I was hoping. But I would like to see, you know, the progress with the courts is at least encouraging.
Well, now that this is done, obviously the president's massive $5 trillion spending plan is going to come into focus this upcoming week. What do you have, about 10 legislative days left for the year, 12 days? What is the number? And I know that now you've got 3 bills to look at: the debt ceiling, you've got the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, and a potential China new policy, as well as the Build Back Better bill. What is the chance of these things happening within the next 2 weeks?
I'd say close to none. I mean, part of that is tipped by having a CR that moves out till February 18th. And in the House, you know, Build Back Better unfortunately already passed. But it's important for people to understand now that they can actually read the text and see the outside scores, that the Congressional Budget Office hasn't scored this bill correctly. The budget gimmicks are exposed, and the cost is more than double what they said it was. So it's not an honest score from CBO, and hopefully that kills the bill in the Senate altogether. But in the House, we've only got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday scheduled for the rest of the year. A lot of people speculate we may be back the week after.
Okay, so right now you've only got 3 days, but you may be back the week after. Look, your colleagues on the left are still pushing through this massive spending plan. They're trying to tell us that it's valued at $1.75 trillion, but even Maya McGinnis from the Committee for a Responsible Budget came on this program a week ago, said it's actually $4.9 trillion. So a $5 trillion bill shoving down everybody's throats when it also includes much higher taxes when people are struggling. We've got a new poll this morning that I want to show you. 45% of Americans report they are struggling with financial hardship because of spiking inflation. And the Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee is trying to take a victory lap. They tweeted a chart thanking President Biden for lowering gas prices. Look at the decline in gas prices, 2 cents a gallon. Are they serious? Are they serious with this chart? That we're supposed to be celebrating gasoline prices have dropped 2 cents a gallon, Congressman? And how much more inflation are we going to see should this Build Back Better $5 trillion plan get passed?
Well, you dropped a lot of good information right there, Maria. But that chart shows the games with math. I mean, if you put that on the right scale and just show the increase, I mean, it's dwarfed. If you did the same with data related to COVID, you would actually see the risk. If you look at the one I want to look at related to inflation is if you showed M2, the supply of money, who thinks that you can go nearly vertical on the supply of money and not see inflation? You know, there were people that were saying publicly, well, it's going to be transitory. I don't think anyone really believed it was going to be transitory, and now we know it's not going to be transitory. And I was encouraged to see the Federal Reserve Chairman say that when he came before Congress this past week.
Yeah.
And the last thing on it is taxes to try to pay for this. I mean, 87,000 IRS agents in this Build Back Better program. That's over 5 infantry divisions. They're sending 5 infantry divisions of IRS agents to assault the American people, and they still haven't given up on trying to get access to our bank records.
Well, I think this is such an important point that you make, Congressman. And in the backdrop of spiking inflation, we're paying 50% more for the price of gasoline, 20% more for things like bacon and meats and chicken. And yet you're telling me that this administration wants to even further the hardship by pushing into the economy higher taxes. Who's getting taxed specifically in this new Build Back Better plan?
Well, everyone is with inflation. That's the tax that's there. But, you know, who's really targeted are American businesses. If you want to make things in America, this is essentially a made in America tax. If you're a producer of anything in America, it's going to be harder to do, not just due to the taxes, but due to the regulation in this Build Back Better initiative. So I really hope the Senate takes the time to actually read the bill, understand the bill, look at Maya's models and other accurate models that show this cost is not honest from our Congressional Budget Office and from the Democrats, and it's never going to cost zero, as they've tried with a straight face to say.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah, it costs nothing. The president continues to say as if we're stupid. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thank you so much. We'll be watching all of that.
You too, Maria.
Warren Davidson joining us this morning in D.C. Thank you.